So today, Chef Justin is here. He's making Buckeye Balls. Larry Mowry, his wife would apparently prepare these for him. Um, I did not know what a Buckeye Ball was, to be fair. Here I am, picking up all the different ingredients. I never baked with Crisco before. It's I think it's like kind of outdated. When I think of Crisco, I think of like, I don't know, I think of something people would fry with stuff in like the 80s and stuff. But apparently they still use it. I needed peanut butter, so I picked up some Skippy here. It called for less than a jar. I could find a 16-ounce jar, um, but I think it was a 28 ounce, so I just used a little bit more than half of the jar. So here I am paying for all this stuff. It was kind of expensive. All this stuff was like $18, I think, in total. Here we go. Yep, see, yeah, look at that. 16.47 for all that stuff. I had the butter um, softening at the house, so here it is. Buckeye balls. Just me reading the recipe again. Always make sure to wash your hands. I'm not a fan of gloves when cooking or doing anything like that, so making sure to wash your hands really well is very important. You can see I really go in here. Anyways, back to the Buckeye balls. So apparently they're like a nut from a tree that's in Ohio. I had no idea what that is. I looked up a picture of what they were supposed to look like afterwards, and they do not look like that at all. So I kind of fucked up there, but make sure my hands are clean. Go back, read the recipe. I put in a little bit more than half of the jar. I kind of just guesstimated it. These covers are tricky to kind of get off sometimes, and you gotta like peel them off and you just kind of throw it in the sink there. But it's kind of kind of strange when you think about it. Uh, Buckeye balls. First, I thought when Kirk first mentioned it on the show today, I thought he was talking about like mountain oysters, and it was like testicles of the bulls or something. Because I thought that's what a Buckeye was. I thought it was like a horse. So when he said Buckeye balls, I thought it was like balls. But whatever. So there, I'm getting a decent amount of the uh, peanut butter out. Skippy. Nothing too exciting there. Um, didn't start making a mess until there we go. Wash my hands again, real quick. See, washing your hands very important. Wash my hands like 3 or 4 times throughout this process. I'm not going to show every single time I did that, but the next part here, cutting up the softened butter just to make it easier to spread in there. I thought 2 sticks of butter was quite a bit. And I would say this is probably not the healthiest thing in the world. Um, Peanut butter, butter, and chocolate. Yeah, but here I am, cutting it up, putting it in there. Um, it is easier to cut it up in little pieces rather than just put the entire sticks in there. I found before when baking, especially with softened butter. I thought it would be easier to mix around, but I tried mixing it with the spatulas, and it really wasn't going. So I just said fuck it at one point, just used my hands. But yeah. So I didn't realize that Buckeyes Oregon nut that's in Ohio. Yeah, you can see I'm trying to get all the peanut butter off. And as I said, I don't know what to do with that. So I'm trying stirring it around. It's these wooden spatulas that I have. It's not really doing anything. But I was going through the recipe book today, obviously that Bud gave Kirk, and it's something. I mean, there's a lot of okay looking stuff. I honestly thought this recipe was going to be a disaster once I read it. I didn't realize um, how much sugar there was going to be in it, and just kind of so I thought there's no way this makes sense. So here I'm trying to mash it up, mash. Kind of just looks like a big bowl of diarrhea. But I really can't. The butter was just not going in at this point. Uh, so I'm just stirring it up, just trying to stir it up more. If I could do this over again, I would probably just go to my hands, like first thing, because using my hands was just so much easier. It was so much messier, but so much easier. 'Cause the butter wasn't like I only had the butter out of the fridge for like 2 hours, so it wasn't like super soft. But there you go. Yeah, I wonder. Buckeye Balls. I wonder, is it like an Ohio State thing? Like, do they like eat like Buckeye Balls? Like, is this golfer like a Buckeye himself? Was he from the Ohio State University? I don't know, but I do think it was really cool that Mug gave a book signed to Barbara Bush. It was nice. When she died, it meant a lot to me. It was very sad. She was a very influential person on in my life. Trying to use the plastic one here, stir it up. It's just not doing it. Then at this point, I looked over and I saw that sugar, and I was like, Jesus Christ, it's a shit ton of sugar. Yep, there we go. Just gonna plop it on. Little poof there, poof of sugar. So I kept looking for confectionate sugar because that's what the recipe calls for. Turns out it's just the same thing as powdered sugar. So um, yeah, you can see I tried stirring it up here with this. And this is only half a bag, and at this point I'm thinking like I gotta put the other fucking half in there. So it's starting to clump up here a little bit. I think this is the point where I just said fucking. I just used my hands. Yeah, I looked over there. Like Jesus Christ, this is a shit ton of sugar. Yeah, just dump the rest of the bag in. Probably should have used a bigger bowl here as well. I didn't have all my necessary things, or grab some better cooking stuff from my parents' house or something. Oh, look at that! I'm spilling the sugar. I swear to God, I thought I went in hands first. There we go. Oh yeah, do what must be done. This reminds me when I was younger, I used to make gingerbread houses with my grandmother, and we would make everything from scratch. And doing this reminded me of that. It's a nice little nostalgic feeling for it. Yeah, my hands really got fucking. Remember, I washed my hands multiple times during this, so it's perfectly clean, perfectly fine. I know later on you have to make these into balls, so I just I figured why not? It's not the end of the world to be to using your hands here, but yeah, this was kind of a mess to clean up and everything. So it's kind of cool. You can see like the sugar like just going into the dough, kind of going away. That scraping the sides, making sure you're getting all that good shit. Mm. I don't think I've ever had a Buckeye ball before. Just peanut butter, sugar, butter. Sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen. It's pretty easy to make though. I could see like banging out like 700 of these, popping them in a freezer and selling them or something. There we go. Just kneading it up. Oh yeah. Mm. Boop. That's all done. And then you just roll them into little balls. Boop. Put them on a plate. Boop. I don't think I show them all these, but it was hard to kind of gauge out the size of all the different balls. Boop. Here we go. Oh, small one. Here we go here. This is kind of my favorite part. You can see I washed my hands. That was off camera, but boop, boop, put them in the fridge. Now it's time to make the chocolate coating. So yeah, like I said, I've never used Crisco before. So I'm reading how much to put because this is used 2 tablespoons. So I'm trying to open this up. Then I realize like it's like already in the container. Popping that open. See, you can use it in place of butter, but I feel like that's gross, right? I'll just, I don't know, scoop out what I think is 2 tablespoons. I don't know. 1, 2. Yeah, that's good. Boop. Put that away. This is kind of, so my hands were all greasy from the shortening, so I'm trying to open it up here. Can't do it. Take out my trusty, oh, one more try. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can't do it. So slippery. Oh, take out a knife. Pop these bad boys open. Yeah. Ooh, spilled some. Hope Kirk likes these. Ooh, yeah, no, I couldn't really like mix these up. You're supposed to nuke them in the microwave, but I thought maybe mixing them up first. But then I realized that like you're just gonna all you're doing is coating the Crisco in the chocolate chips. So whatever. Just decide, fuck it. I'm just putting them in the fucking microwave. So there they go. In the microwave, 2 minutes. Boop, boop, boop. Wait, oh, there it is. Take it out, all stirred up. Now, this is my favorite part. Boop, just put it in there. So I didn't realize you were supposed to like leave a little bit at the top. And it said use a toothpick. I didn't have any toothpicks, so I just said fuck it. Um, I just thought like, just kind of rolling them around in here, which was kind of fun, to be honest. You just boop, put them down. Put them down. Kind of soaking it all. Just letting them cool. It's kind of cool that it's like no bake. Like you make it. Then again, you're just kind of eating like raw butter. Kind of eating like a stick, like 2 sticks of butter. Peanut butter, butter, and sugar. Just seems like a lot, but who am I to judge? There's Bubba next to me telling me how good they look. I was like, calm down. You can have some in a little bit. Just get cool for a little bit. Yeah, this was kind of like relaxing. I could see doing this. Yep, almost done. 2. There they are. Final ones. Just rolling them around. Rolling them around in the chocolate. There you go. There you go. And then you're supposed to let them sit at room temperature for a little bit. So that's what I did. And I put them in the fridge. Yay!